Holding it really still. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
Still?
it's a little choppy on.
Oh, that's me. That was bad.
It's choppy on my end too because I'm recording the screen, so my computer's
Uh,
memory is like slow, so I might be doing weird, like Rembrandt looking kind of stuff.
okay.
Okay. Um, should we start?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to introduce yourself and just say like what you do and where your studio currently is and what you're doing in life, I guess?
Okay. I'm Jackie. I am a photographer. I usually call myself a documentary photographer. I work mainly in black and white imagery, of images that I take just sort of from the world, uh, out in the world. My studio is currently at Columbia, which is where I'm in my second year of my MFA. But usually my studio has been in my bedroom.
Word. Um, so yeah, and where do you where do you make your work? Like where does work happen for you? It happened in your bedroom before and it happens in the studio now, but does it happen in other places also?
Yeah, so there are like two parts of my practice or how I make it. So, and it's pretty 50-50. But I would say that half of it happens out in the world, photographing. That is what you would call, I guess, my studio.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is that's where the work gets. That's where the raw material comes from, and then I would say that the work actually gets made um, in the studio, which a lot of it is done on the computer, and a lot of it is done through printing out work prints
Mm-hmm.
um, and then sort of figuring it out from there. I think that that's really where a lot of the art comes in. I think that's really the tough part is what to do with these images after they've been compiled and how
Yeah.
to put them together.
Yeah. How do you know when something is done?
You don't. When there's a deadline, I guess. But um, it's never really done because images are pretty tough to work with because they're always there and they're usually always relevant, and there's a million different combinations. Um, Especially in the way that I work, it's not necessarily series based, so it's not like I go out, do something, and then that's it. Um, it's usually a bit more complicated than that, and it can end, I guess, whenever I want it to,
Mm-hmm.
or whenever it wants itself to. Whenever I get tired, I guess.
Yeah. Do you ever do you delete things or throw things away? Like,
I had a teacher once who told me not to delete anything. Um, and that is, I've tried to follow that rule. I delete, a lot of times there's mistakes. A lot of times, if I have my settings wrong, and my flash doesn't go off, and
mm-hmm.
if something's black and unrecoverable, I'll delete it just to
Yeah.
try and clear some space because I have a lot of images and hard drives are expensive. Um, but other than that, no, I'm sort of a hoarder when it comes to images. I try and keep everything because you never know when something might hit, and maybe I want to do something differently, and maybe those mess ups weren't actually mess ups.
Yeah, that sounds really challenging.
It's expensive.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like because technology has allowed us to keep so many things, it kind of changes the nature of like the medium itself.
Yeah, it's very time consuming because I do spend a lot of time going through my archive, and the more that I save, it's just the more time and work um, it takes to sort of, it just takes more time the more images you have. So
Yeah.
definitely is a time sucker.
Do you have any like routine habits that are a part of your practice that like have become really integral to you? I guess it
Yeah.
generally, but also in terms of like editing, like you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Um, 5x7 work prints. It's I sometimes I'm lazy and I won't do it, but until I actually see the prints, even if it's just small and um, the quality isn't that great,
Mm-hmm.
um, sometimes you need to see it in order to put things together and to make matches. Certain things happen in physical space in a different way than they happen or than they can happen on the computer. I don't know why, but that has been it sort of just is a new way of looking at things.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't there's no way that I can put something together um, only digitally. It has to be in a physical space too.
Hmm. Do you think that that same quality of like things changing once they move from digital to physical space has informed the way that you like communicate with other artists or like form a community?
Sorry, yeah, so wait, say the question again. I missed.
I was just wondering if that same like quality that like things change when they move from a digital to a physical space also informs like things other than just like editing images. Like for example, like community building, like you have a
Oh,
really like popular Instagram and like I don't know how that changes for you also.
yeah, I think that it depends on the kind of person you are. But
But for you.
yeah, but generally, yeah, for me, my relationships happen in person. Um, but my Instagram is mainly as a way for I built it so that it was just a way for me to like put images out there. It's like they used to just compile on my computer,
Mm-hmm.
and but having a space to publicize them in a way made them feel a bit more tangible, like, or made them take on a life. And I guess that my photographs are made to be seen, and I was keeping a lot of them to myself, not because I was necessarily scared to show them, just because I didn't know where to put them. And there are so many, so it's just this easy way to it's actually perfect for the way I work because it becomes an easy way to output,
Mm-hmm.
and then for me to see them and feel satisfied with like, okay, I did that. It feels like an accomplishment. Um, and then, but then secondary to that, it's been a way to get jobs and to I do sell a lot of prints from there,
Mm-hmm.
so it's more been a source of like business than it has for community.
Mm.
Uh,
Interesting.
I don't usually, I don't know anyone through Instagram. I've seen a lot of people's work on Instagram, but I
Mm-hmm.
haven't built a relationship with anyone
Mm.
based on Instagram.
Mm. Um, do you ever like does the amount of likes you get on a photo influence the way that you think about it?
Yeah, and it sucks. Yeah, because there's a lot of times where like I think I'll like absolutely love an image and I'll put it up and it doesn't get a lot of likes, and I'm like, ugh. More sophisticated people obviously need to be following me. Or like,
Clearly.
but or like I'll put up something that I don't really like and it'll just get a ton, and it's like I'll want to delete it or I'll want to take it down. but like I can't because it's hit this amount of number. And like Jenny, my girlfriend, will always be like, you need to put up pictures that other people like. Or, like she like will know my follower count and be like, you dropped 40 followers this month.
Oh my God.
Like, you know, like, because that's how like her brain is wired. And it's like completely the opposite of me. Like, yeah, like I'll definitely notice the number, but like
right.
it's harder for me to make a change based on that. But yeah, it does influence the way, and I don't like that. But usually, if it comes to like picking images, or you know, maybe it comes to something important, I trust like only, you know, certain people, not necessarily the sheer like amount of people who I don't know, something like that.
When it comes to people that you admire, is there like, can you name like one woman who inspires you or is like an important mentor to you? Or
Sure. There's a lot of women who I aspire to, and whose work I really aspire to. Bike to Porter, who I've never met before, and like love her work, or somebody like Rosalind Fox Solomon, like love her work, or Mary Ellen Mark, you know, died. I really appreciated and loved her, but I've never actually, unfortunately, had. I'm trying to think. I've never had a photographer who has mentored me, a female photographer who's mentored, but I have had other like female artists who I felt close to, just not in my style. Like at you know, a university setting or
right.
school setting, something like that.
Right. Do you have a go-to snack that you like to have while you work?
I mean, that's a really hard question. No, because most of my work is on the go, so I don't eat when I'm shooting ever. It's too complicated. I don't have enough hands.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I also get, because a lot of the things that I shoot they're really exciting to me, and there's usually a lot going on, so I'm pretty like involved in that.
Right.
But when I'm sitting on my computer and editing, yeah, I'm just like a lazy piece of shit. I'll just eat whatever. I mean, I have like favorite foods, but I'll just say Cheez-Its because I like them a lot.
All right. That's cool. I like Cheez-Its too, even though I don't eat them anymore.
Yeah, like I don't eat them, but like they're so delicious.
They're so good. All right, our last question that we're asking everyone, which is kind of like, I guess, a Material Girls like signature thing, is like, what is your favorite thing to touch? Is there a certain texture that you like?
Yeah. I mean, I really like touching like the person I love's hair, or like people I love's hair, like friends too. I just really like stroking the tips of their hair or something. You know, that's a funny question because Jenny really likes touching my ear. Like she's like obsessed with, like, she like loves the way the ears feel. And now that she started doing it, I've started doing it too, and it's very comforting. So, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
Someone's body, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you have really long, beautiful hair, so it makes sense that you would be into hair.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me.
No problem.